Hello everybody, and welcome back to another Modern Warfare video. I'm your host with the most, Doodleman149, and today I'm here to tell all of you how you can do better in Call of Duty Warzone. Before we hop into that, let me just say that if you guys have any tips of your own in addition to the ones I'll be listing here, feel free to throw some down in the comments below. I love hearing from you all, and I like to know how the community is feeling about certain topics. Enough of my blabbing though, let's get started making you all better virtual soldiers. Let me just start off by telling you guys a little about my Warzone career, if you can call it that. As you can all see, I've put in almost 5 days in terms of game time playing Warzone. While this may not be a lot by streamer standards, seeing as I still hold a regular job, have a wife, and other interests outside of Warzone, I still feel this number is respectable enough to garner my words some credibility. Not good enough for you? Well, then maybe my 12 wins will make you feel different. You all may think that is unimpressive too, and for 39% of the COD community, that may be true. However, for you people in the bottom 61% of wins, I don't really think you have any room to criticize, now do you? I'm not saying that I'm all high and mighty, but what I am saying is there's a huge number of you out there that still don't have very many wins, and that's why I'm here to help you. You may be wondering, well, how do I get better at Warzone? Well, inquisitive viewer, I have a partial answer for you. Get better at killing people. If you look again at my stats here, you'll see I have a 1.55 KD ratio, which is apparently in the top 9% in the world. Unfortunately, being able to wipe the floor with people doesn't always mean a win. As you can see by my paltry 2.8% win percentage, I am what I would consider the best fighter in my group of friends, so let me run down 5 quick tips that will help you do better in Warzone. One of the easiest and simplest pieces of advice I can offer you directly correlates to my high KD ratio. Please, for the love of all things holy, use weapons you like and that you're good with. If you take note of this gameplay, what do you see? You don't see the Grau or MP5, do you? Instead, you see the beastly FN Scar 17 and the classic Uzi. Why don't I use meta weapons? Well, I'm not particularly a fan of the MP5. I feel its range nerf and excessive popularity forbid me from using it. And to be honest, I friggin' hate the Grau. Lots of people will swear by it, Fun White Kid being one of them, and that's fine. That weapon simply does not work for me. I dominate multiplayer with my Scar, and those skills translate fairly well to the realm of Warzone. If you go with the AK, then run the AK. If you go with this Model 680 or the Dragunov, use them. Just because I personally don't like them, or because popular YouTubers and streamers don't like them, doesn't mean they're worthless. Do you have any idea how many videos are out there saying that the Scar is the worst weapon in Warzone? Too many to count. But I say screw them because I do really well with it. If you feel you're stagnating, or that you just aren't good in Warzone, try out a different gun. There's a ton to choose from, so maybe check out my gun workshop videos for some suggestions on what to use. But of course, tailor them to how you like them, but you don't have to stick to my builds religiously. The link to that playlist is in the description below, so be sure to check those out. The next piece of advice I can offer is learn the map, and more specifically, learn drop zones that you frequent. My friends and I have a number of drop zones we hit regularly because we know the topography, the loot spawn locations, and how to outmaneuver our enemies in certain areas. Freaky Haircut will frequently pick Quarry in the north end of Boneyard as drop points. Fun White Kid will pick the southwestern section of Military Base near the radio towers. And I favor Dam Village, Rivertown, and Lumber as my favorite drop spots. Since we all play together most of the time, we have, as a team, come to learn all these locations very well. So, if you play with a team, take turns having everyone pick their favorite drop spots so that everyone can get used to a number of locations and get better at fighting all over the map. As a short final note on this topic, when I say learn the map, I don't really mean named locations, like their positions geographically. I mean more being able to look at the TAC map and being able to discern through memory and what the topography of the seemingly open area of land has. What may look like a flat expanse on the map may in fact be covered with trees, rocks, or small hills for cover. Learn where you can move safely and the enemy will have a much harder time pushing you out. Seeing as Modern Warfare and Warzone are tactical shooters in and of themselves, I feel everyone should know some basic tactics for engaging an enemy team. One of the most popular is called pick and push. This tactic works best with a competent sniper, but can also be accomplished through team fire. When coming upon the enemy team who doesn't know your position, a sniper can take the time to clearly line up a headshot on one of the enemies, or your whole team can hose a single target to down them. As soon as that individual or number of individuals is down, the rest of the team can push the remaining combatants. This allows for a number of variables to be in your favor. The enemy has taken severe and sudden damage, most likely leading them to be a little panicked and disorganized. In addition to that, there is the obvious benefit that, at least for the time being, there is one less hostile shooter to engage. And the third benefit is something the Viet Cong used, which makes me hesitate a little to mention it, but if your enemies are more focused on the revive than returning fire, then downing someone has effectively taken 2 people out of commission for a short duration, leading to an even easier squad wipe. This is the most popular tactic, but there are a couple others that are worth noting, even if they are pretty self-explanatory. One I refer to as shoot and scoot. It's mostly needed when the circle is pushing you and it involves 1 or 2 people firing at the enemy to either suppress or outright down some of them, while the remainder of the squad moves up to another cover position to then provide overwatch while the first team catches up. It's basically leapfrog, but with shooting. The last one is very basic, and that's just flank the enemy. If you see an opening to get to the side of the enemy's line while your team is distracting them, then take that opportunity. You'll catch the enemy with their pants down, allowing you to down and possibly even eliminate at least 1 enemy, which will in turn buy your teammates time to advance on the remaining squad. Aside from the most wanted contract, all contracts out there are built to help you in some way. A good idea is to start a match with a scavenger contract, as it offers decent loot, decent cash from chests, a good amount of cash upon completion, and a guaranteed armor satchel in the last chest. That gives you good guns, money, potentially enough for a loadout, and at minimum 8 armor plates. Bounties are useful in situations where you've cleared your drop zone, you've looted up, and you don't know where to go next. Bounties give your squad a focus and can keep your team's momentum going for longer. Supply runs are a fantastic way of getting your squad back after getting wiped. If at least 2 of your squad wins their gulags, 1 squad mate can stay in the air while the other drops to pick up a supply run. The floating teammate can then dive down to the marked buy station and buy a teammate back for free. It's also another option instead of bounties, as your entire squad can get free self-revives from whatever buy station is marked. If you have a full squad, then you just save your team 16 grand. Recons are a good choice if you're looking for a super easier experience and intel on where the circle is about to collapse to. It also provides 2 armor plates and some light loot upon completion, so it can be a last-ditch contract for cash. The most wanted is multi-purpose in that it can get your entire team back for free if you survive, or it can be used as bait to lure other teams in for your squad to ambush and make short work of. While the hunters are all focused on the crown above your head, your team can flank them almost undetected for easy kills. My last point is a very short one. If you're on console, go watch my video about best settings for console players. I play on console and the settings I provide are what I use to dominate my enemies. The link to that video is down below in the description, so be sure to check it out. And that about does it, folks. Those are my 5 best tips for how to play better at Warzone and earn those dubs. Everyone has different suggestions or ideas about the best strategies, so make sure you either have a squad of diverse abilities or a squad that's all very on board with a single plan. Jabez Dawes, linked to his channel down below, is a more passive player. Not to say he camps, but his tactical suggestions often involve holding a power position and gatekeeping at the circle's edge. Plain White Kid, on the other hand, is a very aggressive and pushy player who sometimes overestimates his abilities. Freaky Haircut is very responsive to suggestions, and when given proper tactical advice is extremely capable in carrying out those commands. And I tend to be the one giving directions, mostly because the rest of the team either isn't confident in their suggestions or doesn't want to be responsible for taking an L. All these thoughts have pros and cons, you'll just have to be able to tell when one train of thought is better than another. I'll leave that up to you to decide on what role you should fill in your squad. Go out there and get some dubs, folks. This has been Doodleman149. I hope you're all having a great week and a great day. Until next time, I will see you later.